Today I will explain here the next unit. It is unit 10 of this block. The aim of this unit here on the screen you can see, this is potential appraisal, assessment centers and career and succession planning. So about potential appraisal, assessment centers and career and succession planning I will explain in detail in this unit. So one by one let's start. The first here it is introducing this chapter. Achievement of organizational goal, increased productivity and fulfillment of corporate objectives can be possible only if the employees are feeling satisfaction and achievement. You see here organizational goal can be achieved effectively if employees are satisfied in the organization. To achieve this, there is a requirement for a well thought out system of career and succession planning in an organization. For making employees to feel satisfied, there is a need, there is a requirement for a well thought system of career and succession planning in the organization. So that's why career and succession planning in the organization is very important for the productivity and effectiveness of the organization, because career and succession planning motivates employees in the organization, which ultimately affects or increases the productivity and effectiveness of the organization. Potential appraisal. So potential can be defined as a latent but unrealized ability. Here again potential can be defined as latent, means it is present there but unrealized ability, means the person has the ability to do certain things, but those abilities are not utilized by the organization. That's about potential. Indicators of potential: a sense of reality. Here you can see indicators of potential given. So the first here given, a sense of reality. This is the extent to which a person thinks and acts objectively and pursuing realistic projects with enthusiasm. A sense of, the first indicator of potential is the sense of reality. So this is the extent to which a person thinks and acts objectively and pursuing realistic projects with enthusiasm. So with enthusiasm, the person acts objectively and pursue realistic projects. In case of a sense of reality. Imagination, second given, second indicator of potential. So this is imagining the ability to let the mind range over a wide variety of possible causes of action. So here means simply letting the mind to range over, to think a wide variety of possible causes of action. Third indicator given, power of analysis, the capacity to break down, reformulate or transform a complicated situation into manageable terms. You can see capacity to break down. So what is power of analysis? It is the capacity to break down, reformulate or transform a complicated situation into manageable terms. Fourth indicator of potential appraisal given, breadth of vision. This is breadth of vision, means this is the ability to examine a problem in the context of a much broader framework of reference. It means here this is used to, or you can say this is the ability to examine a problem in the context of much broader framework of reference. And the fifth one given, persuasiveness, the abilities to sell ideas to other people and gain a continuing commitment. It means explaining explaining the ideas to other, and by explanation others are going to come on board. So career path, so the about this career path also I explained in the previous unit, but yet here it is again, so that's why I am going to repeat. One of the important objectives of appraisal, or we can say potential appraisal, is to help employees to move upward in the organization. Okay, so what is the important objective of appraisal? Here is to help employees move upward in the organization, as people do not like to work on dead end jobs. Simply here the movement in the upward direction given. So one of the important objectives of appraisal, you can say potential appraisal, is to help employees to move upward in the organization, as people do not like to work on dead end jobs. So always people want to move to higher positions, so that's why it is important that the employees should be provided certain career paths so that they can be motivated to work in the organization. So career path basically refers to opportunities for growth in the organization. So that's what I explained. Availability of such opportunities has tremendous motivation value. Okay, if employees are getting opportunities for growth in the organization, then they will be motivated to work in the organization. Next, here given career paths can be of two types. So this one also explained in the previous unit, yet I am going to repeat. Those where designation change to a higher level of position, job remaining more or less the same. Means job going to remain the same, but the designation will change to higher position. The second career path here, the change in the position bring about changes in job along with increased salary. With the change in the position, there is change in salary also, status and better benefits. Okay, that's all about career path. Then after next given here, assessment center. So what are different things given here about assessment center? According to International Personnel Management Association, according to IPMA, an assessment center consists of a standardized evaluation of behavior based on multiple inputs. So here, according to International Personnel Management Association, assessment center. So now this is assessment center consists of a standardized evaluation of behavior. So here standardized evaluation means there it is the evaluation of behavior based on multiple inputs. It means inputs are taken from multiple sources so that the behavior can be evaluated. They are used to assess the strengths, weakness and potential of employees. The specific objective is to reinforce the strength, overcome weakness and exploit the potential of employees through training and development efforts. And here you see the specific objective of this assessment center is to you can reinforce the strength, overcome the weakness and exploit the potential whatever it is present in the employee. Judgments about behaviors are made from specifically developed assessment simulations. Judgments about behaviors are made from specifically developed assessment simulations. So what are different kinds of judgments are there about behaviors are made from specifically developed assessment simulations. So you see here judgments about behaviors are made from specific development. Means some assessment simulations are developed, and people's behavior are assessed on the basis of those developed as simulations, assessment simulations. The following are the essential elements for a process to be considered as an assessment center. So following are essential elements. The first essential element, here it is given, job analysis. A job analysis of relevant behaviors must be conducted to determine the dimensions, competencies, attributes. You can see here. A job analysis of relevant behaviors must be conducted to determine the dimensions. You can see here job analysis. The following are the essential elements. The first element, it is given job analysis. So what is this job analysis? Of a relevant behavior must be conducted. Job analysis must be conducted to determine the dimensions, competencies, attributes and job performance indices important to job success in order to identify what should be evaluated by the assessment center. So here job analysis must be conducted to determine the different dimensions, competencies and attributes of job success. Okay, means what are different dimensions, competencies, attributes are required for the success of the job. Okay, so those things should be identified and should be evaluated by assessment center. Any job analysis, so you see here, any job analysis modeling must result in clearly specified categories of behaviors that can be observed in assessment procedure. Here in case of in any job analysis, modeling must result in clearly specified categories of behavior. Means a particular category of behavior should be used for job analysis. Second element given, behavioral classification. Behavioral classification assessment center requires that behavior displayed by participant must be classified into meaningful and relevant categories such as dimensions, attributes, characteristics, aptitudes, skills and competencies. Third given, assessment techniques. The techniques used in the assessment center must be designed to provide information for evaluating the dimensions previously determined by the job analysis. Fourth given, multiple assessments. Multiple assessment techniques must be used. This can include tests, interviews, questionnaires and or simulations, etc. So these are different techniques for assessment. Simulations. A simulation is an exercise, or you can say techniques. So this simulation is a technique designed to elicit behaviors related to dimensions of performance on the job, requiring the participants to respond behaviorally to simulation stimuli. Means in accordance with this simulation stimuli, people should behave, and their behaviors are analyzed for the appraisal. Then sixth given, assessors. Multiple assessors having different characteristics such as diversity of age, organizational level and functional work areas should be used. And the seventh given, assessors training. Assessors must receive thorough training and demonstrate performance that meets requirements prior to participating in assessment center. Eighth given, recording behavior. So a systematic procedure must be used by assessors to record a specific behavioral observations accurately at the time of observation. Ninth given, reports. Assessors must prepare a report of observations made during each exercise before the integration discussion. And 10th given, data integration. The integration of behaviors must be on a pooling of information from assessors or through a statistical integration process validated in accordance with the professionally accepted standards. It means here data integration, the integration of behaviors must be on a pooling of information from assessors, means from different assessors the informations are going to be integrated, and those information should be on different aspects of behavior. Uses of assessment center given, recruitment and promotion can be second use of assessment center given, early identification of personnel, diagnosis of training and development needs, organizational planning. For these all purposes we can use assessment centers. Differences between assessment and development centers. So some differences are given in between assessment center and development center. So what are these differences in between assessment and development centers? Assessment centers have pass-fail criteria, while development centers do not have a pass-fail criteria. You see, assessment centers have pass-fail criteria, development center do not have. Assessment centers are geared towards filing a job vacancy, while development centers are geared towards developing the individual. So here it is about job vacancy, assessment center, and development center it is about developing the individual. Assessment center addresses, so you see, assessment center addresses an immediate organizational need, while development center addresses the longer term need. So immediate need, for immediate need assessment center should be used, but for the long term need development center should be used. Assessment centers have less emphasis placed on self-assessment, while development centers have a greater emphasis placed on self-assessment. Assessment centers focus on what the candidate can do now, while the development centers focus on potential, means what the individual can do later on after training. Sixth given, assessment centers are geared to meet the needs of organization, while the development centers are geared to meet the needs of the individual as well as the organization. So assessment center only to meet the needs of the organization, while development center are geared to meet the needs of both individual as well as the organization. Assessment centers assign the role of judge to assessors, means here the judge is, here you can see the role of judge to assessors in case of assessment centers, while development centers assign the role of facilitator to assessors, means assessors only facilitate in case of development centers. 8 number given, assessment centers give feedback at a later date, while development centers involve the individual having control over the information obtained. You can see here assessment centers give feedback at a later date, while development center involve the individual having control over the information. Assessment centers tend to be used with external candidates, while development center tend to be used with internal candidates. So these are differences in between assessment and development centers. Now next move on to the career planning. So next topic here given, career planning. So as you can see on the screen, the process by which individuals plan their life's work is referred to as career planning. Means the way individuals plan their life's work, means how they are going to work in his life, Okay, means how they are going to work in their lives. That's here given. The process by individuals plan their life's work is referred to as career planning. Through career planning, a person evaluates his or her own abilities and interests, considers alternative career opportunities, establishes career goals, and plans practical development activities. So here what are different things are included in career planning? So here person evaluates his or her own abilities. He evaluates what are the abilities, means what are the things which he can do, and in what field he has interest in, and he considers alternative career opportunities. For example, he may consider various fields in which he thinks that he can pursue. So establishes career goals. So now he establishes career goals and plans practical development activities, and he plans practical development activities. So career planning is important because it would help the individual to explore, choose and strive to drive satisfaction with one's career object. So career planning is important. Why career planning is important? Because it would help the individual to explore, choose and strive to drive satisfaction with one's career object. Okay, in accordance with one's career object, the individual explore, choose and strive to drive satisfaction in career planning. So objectives of career planning given: to attract and retain the right persons in the organization. Second objective of career planning given: to map the careers of employees suitable to their abilities, to ensure more stable workforce by reducing labor turnover and absenteeism, to utilize. So fourth objective of career planning: to utilize the managerial talent available at all levels. Fifth objective: to improve employee morale and motivation by matching skills to job requirements. Sixth given: to give and encourage employee to fulfill their potential. And seventh career planning objective given: to achieve higher productivity and organizational development. So higher productivity and organizational development given here, the seventh. So career anchors. So career, some recent evidence suggests that 6 different factors account for the way people select and prepare for a career. Those 6 of important factors are there, so which people use for selecting and preparing for a career. So they are called, so these 6 factors are known as career factors. So career anchors, these 6 factors are known. So factors account. So career anchors are factors account for the way people select and prepare for a career. Okay, means the way. So whatever the factors which account for the way people select and prepare for a career are career anchors. So what are these 6 factors? The first given, managerial competence. So this is the first factor. Second, functional competence. Third factor is security. Fourth factor is creativity. Fifth factor is autonomy and independence. And sixth factor, it is technological competence. So these are the 6 factors which people use for analyzing and for choosing the way they are going to select and prepare for a career. So career planning process. So career planning involves matching of rewards and incentives offered by the career path and career structure with hope and aspiration of employees regarding their own concept of progression. So here career planning process involves matching, means matching the reward and incentive with the aspiration of employees. If the rewards and incentives offered by the organization matches with the aspirations of employees, then employees are going to motivated and they will choose that career path. So career planning would involve the following steps. So career planning involves the following steps. First, analyze the characteristics of the reward and incentive. Analysis of characteristic of the reward and incentives. Second given, analyze the characteristics of the hopes and aspirations. Third given, you see first career planning involve the following steps. So career planning, the first analysis of the characteristic of the reward and incentive. Analysis of the characteristic of the reward and incentive. Second, it is analyze the characteristic of the hopes and aspirations. Third given, mechanism for identifying congruence between individual career aspiration and individual career system. So mechanism for identifying congruence means finding how individual career aspiration and organizational career system are going to fit with each other, how those things are going to match with each other. Fourth given, alternative strategies for dealing with mismatch, and there should be a strategies also for dealing with mismatch. And fifth one given, review career plans. So whether career plans are moving in the right direction or not, so those things should be reviewed. Next topic given, succession planning. Succession planning is an ongoing process that identifies necessary competencies, then works to assess, develop and retain a talent pool of employees in order to ensure a continuity of leadership for all critical positions. So succession planning here for all means to ensure here the end goal is to ensure a continuity of leadership for all critical positions. Means for all critical positions people should be available. Okay, so that can be ensured by succession planning. And for succession planning, what are different things should be kept in mind? Here is an ongoing process that identifies necessary competencies, then works to assess. You see, this is an ongoing process that identifies necessary competencies, then works to assess. Means first of all identify necessary competencies for various levels, then works means then assess, develop and retain a talent pool of employees. And why means first of all identify necessary competencies, then assess, develop and retain a talent pool of employees so that critical positions can be fulfilled. The purpose of succession planning is to identify and develop people to replace current incumbents in key positions for a variety of reasons. So you see, purpose here is to identify and develop people to replace current incumbent, means whatever you can say, means whoever is or whoever are occupying critical positions in the organization. So for those critical positions, so how they can be replaced by others, so that can be ensured by succession planning. Some of these reasons due to which those key people should be replaced by other peoples are given here. Superannuation, so employees retiring because they reach a certain age. So when people are going to retire from their work, then that place or that position is going to be vacant, so that should be fulfilled. So for that, succession planning is succession planning is used. So that's here it is written, superannuation. Second given the reason, resignation, employees leaving their current job to join a new job. So if your employees are going to leave their current job for joining to other job, then they are going to resign. So then those positions are going to be vacant. So those positions should be fulfilled. So that's why here succession planning should be used. Then promotion given, employees moving upward in the hierarchy. So if employees moving upward in the hierarchy, if employees are moving upward in the hierarchy, then wherever they were working earlier, so those positions are going to be vacant. So to fulfill those vacancies, succession planning is used. Diversification, employees being redeployed to new activities. If they are going to be redeployed, if employees are going to be redeployed, then succession planning should be used. Creation of new position, if new position is going to be created, then employees should be selected from the talent pool and should be placed in that new position. So that's why written, employees getting placed in new positions at the same level. Succession can be from within or from outside the organization, means for fulfilling the vacant position or the position created by the organization. So those positions can be fulfilled from the internal talent pool or from the external talent pool. So that's what all about this unit.